welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and we have our co-host who is back with us this week, James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey.
Oh, we're here to go over Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I also want to say congratulations to the cast of the show because you guys have made it past 8 episodes. Last season, they only got 8 episodes. No reunion. Now they've gotten a reunion, and we're going to get more episodes. So very good job to them. We don't see that happen that often or quickly with Black shows on Bravo, NBC Universal. So I think that is something to celebrate. And for the most part, they're not in there just acting like the whole stereotype. So very, very good job to them for that on this show. Because Married to Medicine, it took people like 7 years to care. And for Bravo to even push it like that, in my opinion. So let's jump into this episode, which was appropriately titled, I can't see, Gossip Girls. I'm looking at, y'all, I have so many notes here. I opened my Beverly Hills notes. I am not in Beverly Hills. But this episode's titled Gossip Girls, which I could understand. I thought that this was a good episode. It was a mess, but I enjoyed watching the mess. I was entertained thoroughly, which is rare these days with TV. So Bria's arguing with Simon drunk upstairs. Bria been arguing drunk with somebody. This is just what Bria does when she's on TV. It's just a mess. The last time we saw them, she was mad because Simon came down in that pink flamingo at a party that was supposed to be for Alan. Oh, Lord. What is his name?
Alex. I'm not Alex. Nick. Yeah.
Nick's fraternity brother. He passed away. Condolences to him for his loss. It's hard to lose friends because you choose to have them. Like, it's so hard. But condolences to you for that. But everybody was acting a fool at this party. People don't understand how to drink responsibly. I feel like the drinking commercials need to put that a little louder and bigger, bolder letters. Drink responsibly, because people forget. Summer claims that she's now sober, though. And now that she's sober, she wants to heal her friendships and says that she's been emotionally exhausted. I don't care. I'm not trying to be mean. Everybody has stuff that they're going through. I'm going through something. James is going through something. The squirrel outside of my window is going through something. Everybody is going through something. It's part of living. But if it takes you being sober to heal your friendships, like, you're making it sound like, Summer, like you have like an actual alcohol dependency issue. And if you don't have that, then you need to be careful with how you are expressing it, because what could have been more beneficial if you're not an alcoholic or anything like that is showing them like, well, I'm gonna just work on drinking, but like controlling it and leaving it there. But I don't know. I don't buy any of it. If you knew you had all of this going on prior to coming to the show and signing the contracts and cameras picking up, if you knew you had all of this going on, that where you could get time off from your actual job away from the show to film the show, then you still chose to come, knowing what's going on with your family. You don't have the right to go off on people and to act a fool in any regard just because of what you're going through in life. None of us do. That's just how I feel. Do you have any additional feelings on it? Because I'm over her.
I'm over her as well. And Bravo in the call center, I don't want to see her next season. Y'all can give her Peach to Noelle and make her full-time. And we can just go from there, because she's a waste of time. She doesn't make sense. And I'm tired of the microaggressions, mixed race lady always angry at her Black side and taking it out on the people around her. I'm just saying, because that's what this looks like to me. Her and Amir both. They're getting on my nerves with this.
Yeah.
More so
I'm
Amir.
going to actually agree with that, especially if they're learning about the addiction issues with her mother and not really being there. Summer does have a lot going on, and I will say I don't think that with what she has going on that she should drink. I think a lot of people forget that alcohol is a depressant. Right. And while some of us have fun with it, this is why they say drink within reason, drink responsibly. Because once you get too drunk or to all of that, people don't realize like what it does to them. But whatever. I'm glad she's sober. Moving on. For some reason, Amir tries to talk to Bria about Bria and Simon. And I know that Amir is drunk because everyone who watches this show, people who do not know Bria, people, the dog, my cat knows that when Bria is like that, just let Bria be. Just let her be. So Amir, for some reason, is trying to talk to her about Simon, and Bria breaks down in tears while talking to Amir. Meanwhile, Simon's looking for food, and I'm I be cracking up. She's in tears over this small fight. She's mad at him. I understand he came down in the flamingos inappropriate. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The way I took it is, listen, cultures. There are true things, cultural differences, and each culture will party differently. Okay, Jewish people like to put each other in the chair. Black people like to, dance a little bit together. Everybody has a thing that they do in their culture, right? I don't understand at all, like, why she's still so upset about it. And I think it is the alcohol, but Amir ends up making it about him. The drunk conversations on the show are getting to be so much. And it's annoying the hell out of me that Amir, drunk or sober, feels the need to give anybody advice.
Say it louder for people in the back, please.
I said, drunk or sober. It's very strange, Amir, that you feel the need to give advice to anybody about anything.
Woo!
That's mind your business. Mind your Black-owned business.
Well, I mean, please do us all that favor.
Oh, he annoyed me. I'm not going to get too much into it because they were so drunk. That's the only issue I have with this cast. I need them next season. Instead of 14 days, put them there for 30, and then take the advice of a great author by the name of James Jackson and give these people some activities.
You know what, Bravo in the call center, I'm gonna call y'all out on this video too. Bravo in that call center. When they come back next year or this year, they need jobs. They need to work at a t-shirt shop like they do in Jersey Shore, or a sandwich place. They need something to do.
They do.
Because them just drinking and having fun and partying and stuff, yeah, it's nice, but this group of people are not fun like that, where it's entertaining. It's actually really stupid when we're watching them. And then also, as I said, I don't want to see half of them back next season. I don't want to see half of them back. I don't want to see Summer. I don't want to see Nick. I don't want to see Preston. I don't want to see Alex. I don't want to see Amir. And I don't want to see Shanice. So I want y'all to get a whole new cast. Y'all, and you guys realize I didn't say Jordan. I honestly feel like she's needed.
She stirs up the mess. I have noticed that. I actually noticed that last episode and a little bit this one. Jordan stirs up the mess, but she does so in kind of a reserved way that's not going to cause someone to lose their job like Mariah in the situation with Amir.
Right. It's very, like I said, she has a good strategy. She has a very good strategy. I noticed that too. Last episode, I had rewatched the last episode and going into this one. And I said, look at Jordan. Look at Jordan. Girl, you done pulled the wool over my eyes. I did not realize you was this messy, but I'm here for it. I don't like her, but I'm here for it. So they can keep her. Get rid of everybody else.
That's the thing too. As recappers, we can't just go off of who we like or dislike. We could dislike someone, but she is needed. But I agree. Amir needs to go. Definitely. Summer needs to go. I did just see that Shanice, Noelle, and Jasmine were live together, which is different because they was all excluding Jasmine. So I don't know if something at the reunion changed it, or Jasmine having a baby changed it, or but it seems like now.
Have they filmed the reunion yet?
I don't know. I
don't think they have. I think they're supposed to this week, though. I think it's supposed to happen this week, if I'm not mistaken, because they have 2 more episodes until the finale. So
yeah, usually they film.
Yeah, they would have filmed.
I don't want no rush reunion either. If y'all gonna give it to us correctly, because we are tired of Andy. I don't care if he got past his investigation. In my opinion, separate from all those allegations and stuff against him, he just needs to be away from hosting any shows of color on Bravo, because he doesn't know how to handle it. That's simple. But moving on, y'all. The next morning, everybody's hungover. Amir did too much. This is why I want Amir to be gone. If your storyline is just whatever this is supposed to be, Amir, it's not giving. I don't get what you bring to the show. I don't like watching him drink. I don't like watching him sober. I don't like watching him with his girl. I just don't like him. Something about him I don't like. And my gut has never been wrong. Anytime my gut feels like nasty about a person, they have been that way.
I told y'all I didn't like him from the moment he appeared on this camera. And I've been right ever since. I want y'all to give me my credit because I said exactly what it was. In this episode, if there was no other
It proved
episode,
it.
it proved it. And I
Yeah.
said this from day one. And when I tell you, I had people jumping down my throat like, nah, he ain't like that. He not like that. My own best friend even questioned it. She said, I don't think it's that either. Y'all, come on. And it's because I went to college with men like him. I was around men like him all the time, and it was weird. It was weird because they grow up with one part of them completely ignorant of the other part that matters because that's what you look like identifiably. I wouldn't have known he was what he was had he not said it out his own mouth. But the way he moves and the way he gears and his disdain and his gestures towards, especially the black women in the house, y'all, he convinced me. I'm sorry. No, y'all can get rid of him. I don't want to see him no more.
Yeah, I do feel like he's I would just say it. He seemed to be a little bit of Uncle Tom, but I'll get to that later. Bria's upset with Simon still the next morning. She's mad that he was acting a fool, and she finally. I knew that the way she was so upset, because I'm a firm believer in a drunken mind is our sober thoughts. I'm firm believer in that. So I knew that, like, for her to be so upset, something more had to be there. And she says that she doesn't feel he respects her events. When she goes to his events, she says that if she were to act the way that he behaves when he is at anything for her, not just the Vineyard, that he would have a problem with it. So I got that. I got that. But I just, like, Bria, if it's such a problem, like, you need to do something about it. I'll say that before moving on, because we're actually going to have to speak a lot about Bria and Simon later in the episode, and I want to move through in a timely manner. So I'm going to just wait. I'll explain to y'all what happened, but we will come back to them. So outside, Natalie, Bria, Shanice, and Noelle are discussing Tasia, which is Nick's girlfriend. Supposedly. I don't believe that Nick and Tasia are in a real relationship. I think that she seems to have a reputation of just being this sweet, innocent girl who's successful, and he seems to want to fill out certain boxes. And for some people, it may be easier just to be because it looks like that's what it should be versus the feeling of wanting to be. That's my opinion on Tasia and Nick. But Natalie, keep in mind, is Amir's girlfriend, and she's visiting. And I'm like, okay, you're getting along with the girls and stuff. That's nice, and the housemates. But why are you gossiping about Tasia and Nick when you are one of the only people in the house that Nick deals with off camera? Amir and Natalie hang out with Nick and Tasia often off camera, and they're supposed to have a friendship. So I found it weird from the jump that Natalie felt it to be okay, even separate from friendships or anything, to be discussing and jumping into gossip of housemates when you're just the guest of a housemate, a spouse of a housemate. So you should want to stay out of it. And you're the spouse of a housemate that, in my opinion, I don't care what nobody on this cast says, I don't think none of them care for Amir like that. That's just how I feel. I don't think they do. I feel like the only ones who might are Nick and Tasia and anyone who's hung out with him, but that's like two people. I don't feel like the cast.
You know what, honestly, I'm gonna throw Alex in there too.
Yeah, they're supposed to be close. Well, Alex is close with Nick, so I feel like if Nick's cool with somebody, they're gonna see Alex too.
Yeah. So this is where I conflict with her a lot, because yes, she is doing this to start trouble and bullshit because she wants to be on TV, obviously, but this ain't the kind of show she wants to. I said this last week, y'all. Mm-hmm. She wants to be on TV. This is obvious. But this ain't the, like, upper echelon-esque show she wants to be on. She wants to be either on Housewives, or she wants to be on one of those real estate shows, or maybe HGTV. But she doesn't seem appealing or interesting. So that's probably why she hasn't made it on there. So I feel like this is what she's doing. She's trying to get on TV. And this is how you do it. It
was obvious throughout the episode. We can both agree there that Natalie was trying to get on TV, because I think if you take everything out of it, you're the partner there. You should be acting like Donald, or hell, even Simon. Like, he's not in drama. He just parties, has fun, does that. So, you know, Bria don't count. That's his partner. He can have drama with her. But yeah, it was weird. But Natalie says that Tasia was waiting on Nick in the room and that Nick was running around doing other stuff, ignoring her. And it's okay to listen to it and then do something about it. But that's where I had an issue, because now you're adding to that gossip to these women. And what is that going to do? How does that help? If you did see all of that, and Tasia's your friend, like you say, Natalie, then you should have went and said something to her. Or you should have went and said something to Nick about, oh, the girls in the house are saying this. But I don't know. I just didn't like it. But moving on, y'all. Natalie is in the room with Amir discussing how she wants to tell Tasia about Nick's behavior. But baby girl, you ain't no housemate. You dropping bombs. Why? Go sell a house. Since Amir ain't selling enough houses, go train him up to become as good as you. I know that there are other things that you could be doing other than getting involved in the drama at the Vineyard. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying to me personally, because people don't be understanding that you have a place and a way to behave. Like, if you are with your partner at an event, yes, you should socialize. Yes, you should speak, but don't get involved in drama. If you go to a family reunion or an event or a new school or something and you hear someone talking about somebody, that don't mean that it's for you to jump in. People don't know when to close their mouths and to mind their business. Natalie cannot mind her Black-owned business, but I know she got something she can mind. So I don't want to deal with her at all. So she's hell-bent on that. And Amir should have told his lady, because I'm not going to hold her wholly accountable. Amir should have manned up and said to his woman, I already had this problem last season because of my mouth with Mariah and Bria, because Mariah did just talk to him about that. So just mind your business, babe. Visit with me. Don't get in the bull. But instead, he's just like, yeah, I mean, that's your friend. Amir is a simp. And the way that he, like,
it was like, you couldn't tell her, look, this ain't the time nor the place. This is why I feel like production put her up to this. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's just responding to the aftermath of that. And this was the response, because that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
She needed to be talked to and dealt with in a way where, like, look, these are people I do a show with. And then also, this is my check. And
right.
You're coming in the middle of this being messy and causing friction where there's no fiction. Tasia don't give a fuck about what this man does.
No, she doesn't. That's clear.
So what are you what are you doing? Like, I know you don't. I know she's not that. Y'all can't tell me this girl is that naive to think that Tasia is really with this man, because none of us believe it.
Yeah.
None of us believe Tasia is with this man. None of us believe that, because here's the thing. Tasia looked like she was giving $500 to show up on TV, pretend to be this man's girlfriend. I'm gonna say allegedly, because I don't want him coming after me. Allegedly, and then there it is. I don't believe this.
Support your claim, as they call it in court and in APA standard, and say that I believe you. The reason why I believe you is if you guys pay attention and play detectives like the weird Bravo nerds that me and James are, when Nick was talking about her, and they showed that picture of her, that professional photo that they've taken, the supposed photos for the past, she was in the exact same hair. And one of them was the same outfit that she packed. So y'all really tell me you got a photo taken and developed to show the past, y'all. And this is clearly an updated photo that was taken while she was on the video. I don't buy anything coming from Nick and Tasia. I'm not going to say I think he's cheating. I'm not going to say I think she's cheating. I don't think the relationship is real. I
don't believe it's real. Yeah, it's like I said, so it's not cheating if it's not real. And exactly. Which is why he's so free. See, and the thing about it is men like him really make me wonder if this is a Beard situation. And you're not ready for this yet. So you trying to really sow your oats, but you don't want nobody to think that of you. So you get a girlfriend or a girl that's down with it to, be that, because she probably lacks, self-esteem and, all of this, to where she can do that. But meanwhile, you're trying to, come off to every girl talking about you want her. To me, it's looking like a front. Like, I don't want to say the same thing I say about Alex, because I can see it with him too. But the problem is that you disrespecting this woman on national TV
He
where people
is.
are watching, and you want you want people in the house, common folks in the house that are your peers and your coworkers to have the same respect for her when you don't even respect her your damn self. So no, I'm sorry. I'm not subscribing to this. This is a front. And I don't care what no one tells me. I don't care what no one tells me. If you want to be treated this way, by all means, go ahead and do so. It couldn't
Let
have
me
been me.
say, just ask somebody, like, as a woman with a man, like, that I've been with for some time. I think anybody who's been with somebody, even if it's a little bit of time, who is that handsy, male, female, gay, straight, whatever, what he's doing is just not okay when you are supposed to be in a relationship with someone. And it's that simple. But everybody like to make it more difficult on the show, which is annoying, specifically Nick. But either way, I don't know. It's just annoying. Moving on, the group goes bicycle riding. Bria and Simon, they stay behind to go to talk because personally, I think they still hungover. I feel like Bria and Simon don't know each other sober. I'm keeping it real, but they tolerate each other because we've talked about our reasons why. But she explains the importance of the event that Nick had at the house where Simon came down in that pink flamingo that she grabbed by the neck. She said, I'm going to stab it down. I'm still laughing at it. And she explains that the event was important to Nick. She explains why. She also explains that this was a black tie event. Listen, Bria, this is a man who got money to be dropping millions of dollars on watches for the cast. If you tell him something's a black tie event, it better be a black tie event. While this was a nice event that Nick was putting on, this was not a black tie event, in my opinion. But he did do something to wear something he shouldn't have. In my opinion, they are both wrong. Simon's like, well, you behaved badly at the event too, Bria, which she did. She said she was going to grab the flamingo and stab it down if he did not get upstairs. She freaked out to where other people could notice. Then, when he finally leaves the party, she grabbed the flamingo by the neck and was trying to destroy it. So she did act a fool. Just because someone does something wrong, disrespects you, or upsets you, doesn't mean that you have the right to just act the way that Bria does. And she doesn't get that yet. But in my opinion, they were both wrong. But then here's where I'm thinking it's done, and it goes a step deeper. Bria brings up the fact that it's hard for her to be a black woman living in Germany for Simon, because that's where she usually goes to be with him. And before y'all stop me, yes, there's a big black population in Germany, but there's also a big racist population.
I was just gonna say that population, a lot of that is because it's that's because old military fools got up there, got a whole bunch of women pregnant, and then decided to immigrate there. That does not necessarily mean that they're safe there intellectually or even physically. So I don't want to sit here and act like, because people who said, because someone said that when I had commented a post on Instagram, I'm like, first off, ask any one of them black men in German if they're respected by the other fellow Germans out there.
Just because listen, there are black people everywhere in America, and we still fighting to be treated right. I deal with racism all the time, and I live in a state that people think is liberal and everything's just honky-dory. Everyone loves everybody. And it's not like that. Racism is everywhere. So I hate when people behave the way that Simon did. And the way he behaved with it, he may be kind to her, but she says that Simon is blind to it because he is white. And she also says that his family members make comments about him being with a black woman. She takes it a step further and says that when she goes to events with Simon, that there are times when she's been assaulted and he never defends her as a black woman, and actually gets at her when she defends herself. His response to all of this is that he is not going to ever put her into a bad space. So after all of that in their little talk, they decide, well, Bria says that she's still going to stay with Simon because she loves him so much in that. So I would say my piece. Now I've explained it, and I'll allow James to say his piece. There's so much wrong. There's a lot to unpack here, more than me or my good friend and co-host could unpack in a live. It's really actually kind of sad. As a black woman, how can you choose to be with someone who puts you in situations repetitively where you are forced to experience racism, because she has no control of how people feel about her skin. She can't control that. And when it comes to the family making comments, that tells you all you need to know on Bria. Now, Simon is wrong for not defending her, yes, because if you're going to be with someone, then you should defend them from anything. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're bigger than you, taller than you, whatever it is, you should defend them. But where you have to be careful when dating with mixed races and cultures is if you're going to choose to date outside of your race, whether you polka dot, white, Romanian, black, whatever the hell, African, or German, you have to choose to learn, meaning you have to educate yourself on your spouse's or your partner's culture. And that means it's okay to ask questions and things of that nature. But you also have to be prepared to defend them and your people if they act toward them with negative stereotypes and prejudices and behaviors that align with racism. The other thing, as Black people, we have to be accountable and hold ourselves accountable. Why are you with this man as a Black woman? You will never feel safe with someone whose blood family, who raised and created him, doesn't understand why he chose to be with you when you're Black. He doesn't see the big deal in what you go through, and he has no empathy about it. And people who don't experience racism, the privileged, people, they're not going to understand how we feel. They'll never understand it. But at the very least, they should have some form of empathy for it. And Simon doesn't even seem to see anything wrong. So I think Simon and Bria are wrong, but he's shown you what it is. You see what's going on with his family. Personally, why are you still with him after all of that? Why? And I know some people are like, don't attack Bria. I'm not attacking Bria. But right now, I lost a lot of respect for you because what I heard was you basically going to stay with him because of his bag. Ain't no way in hell I'm staying with somebody when I'm having to deal with racism. That's it for me. So I don't have any respect for Bria now because money is what you see. You'll deal with people spitting you, pushing you, calling you a N word with a hard ER. You'll deal with all of that for $1. Our ancestors are rolling in their grave at you. Pathetic. That's how I feel. So I'll let James say what he has to say because I have nothing nice to say. I'm ashamed of her personally.
So when Bria got her ass up on that confessional and said all this shit, I said so. Oh well.
She's choosing it.
Because to me, that should have been a no-brainer to you. That should have been a no-brainer to you that you can't go into this man's life and society and think that you're going to be just okay and accepted on his arm. And the fact that you sold your soul for whatever money this man has and willing to put up with the shit that his family does. Because it's not just his family, it's him too. Yep. It's him too. When you go back to the States, you don't think he talk about you to his family? You don't think they talk about you to him? And he just sits there and laughs with it? Yeah. So, no, I said so and oh well. Because this is what you get. Does she deserve this, y'all? No. Under any circumstances, she does not deserve to be disrespected. But if you're going to lay there and choose to put yourself in these positions, knowing that could be it, or even if you didn't know, knowing that you experienced that and still decide to stay with this man, even after the fact that there's no amount of money in this world that's going to allow me to sit up there and take racism from anybody, especially some of my man's family. There's no amount of money. I don't care how rich he is. So, Bria, although I feel for you, and once again, you don't deserve it, but when you sat up there and you still continue, even to this, y'all, she with him to this day. She's with this man to this day. And this has been last summer. So, and oh well, is all I have to say. If you're going to voluntarily put yourself through all of that and still stick with this man, even after that, because it's never going to change.
Yeah.
So, oh well. And so what? I don't even care because you decided to do that, and y'all gonna get mad at me for saying that. But it's like, look, I can't defend a Black woman who voluntarily puts herself in these positions for money, because y'all can say what it is. It's for the money. It's for money because there could be no other reason. They don't have good chemistry, at least not from what we see on this TV. They're over sexualizing each other every time we turn around. So you can't tell me that this is an actual intellect and this is actually a couple who actually understands each other's beings when all we see is them doing overly sexualized things and getting drunk every 2 seconds. We're on this camera. So no, I'm sorry. So and oh well is what I have to say. Get off my screen, Bria, because I don't care.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know, it's annoying. And then I don't like that she didn't address it either. You don't make comments like that or such strong comments and then not address it at all. She didn't address it. If she addressed it on Watch What Happens Live, someone please let me know. But Bria, you're beautiful. You hella chocolate, and I hope that you figure out your worth, because honestly, you could do better than Simon. And that's the problem. A lot of people are so focused on stability, having a way to pay the rent, having food, but not just that. They got to have the fanciest brand, the most expensive this, the nicest this. And that's why you go to areas where people are less rich, and you look at people who are with people not for money and other things, and they may be poor as hell, but they feel rich in love. Okay. The gold digging route is not going to work for you, baby girl. After this, I'm looking at you crazy. But what's odd is online, the people are more concerned about how she's carrying Milo and the fact that he's not crate trained, which, by the way, as a former dog trainer, I do have to say that there are several concerns I have for Milo. Crate training your pet when you are away, while it seems mean, if you have the appropriate size crate, it actually helps them calm anxiety, because when they were once, not domesticated, that's what they would do to feel safe, is find small spaces like crates or little holes for cats, things like that, to feel safe. So there's a lot she needs to do with her dog. But I don't know. I don't like it, but hopefully they figure it through. We said what we could about it, y'all. Moving on, the group goes to go bike riding, and Nick and Tasia stay behind because she didn't pack anything for this bike ride. What? Tasia annoys me. Something about her annoys me. She just annoys me. I'm not even going to comment on that, but she annoys me. So you got this man treating you like this on this show. I think Nick like boys. I'm saying it. But that's just, you're muted, darling. I see your lips moving, but I'm not.
Sorry. I already said that. If y'all didn't see the context of what I was talking about, how beard situation, this is what she's giving, is beard. She is. I'm sorry. And y'all can say, well, he flirts with all the girls and stuff like that. Y'all don't know how black men are. And I'm not about to explain this a million times. Yeah. Go watch the other recaps and know what I'm talking about. There's I'm not finna sit up here because it's stupid. It is. It's really stupid. I don't feel sorry for Tasia either. I don't feel like, I feel like you know what you're getting yourself into. And if you are really that stupid to be with this man, then God help you. I hope you find what you're looking for at the end of the day.
Just keep your relationship how you kept this season one, Nick. If you claim that you just like to keep stuff private or on the low, keep it that way. Because there's some people who are like, my husband's actually like that. If he don't trust you, he's like, I don't want you to know my wife's name. I don't need you to some people are like that. So keep it that way. But when you go back and forth, Nick, that's where people lose stuff. So, okay, Tasia didn't pack clothes. You knew that the group was going on a bike ride. It's obviously something that had to have been planned because y'all rented the damn bikes. I'm over them. Moving on. Jordan mentions that with Silas gone, because she's having fun on the bicycle with Jasmine. Remember, Jordan is nobody's friend. She's a snake and she's here for a check, but she's very pretty and a great DJ. She basically mentions that with Silas gone, Jasmine can give her more attention. Those were literally her words. So basically, you're admitting that Jasmine did nothing to you last summer, but be a damn wife. Let me explain something to you raggedy heifers that ain't married. And I'm going to say it for the ones who like to have opinions of people who are. When your friends get married, okay, they don't forget about you. The normal ones. We don't forget about y'all. We don't. But you are going to hear from us less and see us less. Tell them, James. He's experienced it with me. You're not going to, and this is
here's the thing.
Who aren't married or that way, but they are focusing on creating the foundation for the rest of their life. So how dare you make her feel away because she's
here's the thing, because I understand dynamics and I understand that spouses have a higher hierarchy than friends. They're supposed to. So I have a base level understanding of that. The problem with a lot of single women when it comes to their married friends is that they don't want to admit that they missed when their friends were single and they took for granted when their friends were single. And now that you cannot do that anymore and she's married, Now, any chance you get with her alone, you get mad when she don't want to stay out to the clubs at 3 o'clock no more. She has to get on to her husband. But you used to do that when we were single. She's not single anymore. There's a higher hierarchy. That husband come first.
I
I don't
think
understand
with
what's so hard to
Jasmine
believe.
and Jordan, though, it sounds like the club thing was an issue, but
I don't think
I
that was
don't
an
think
issue.
I don't think she understands the fact
I
that she
No, it's because she's
your
selfish
friends
when
are
it
going
comes
to
to her
act
friends.
differently too when you're married, because I'm not trying to say women who aren't, but it's very rare that you see married women just acting a fool, or what's an example, twerking on the internet with their friends for fun, just on a story, like little stuff
Like
like
unless
this.
it's like unless it's like because some husbands allow their wives to have girls trips and stuff like that. Unless it's one of those situations, then I can kind of see it. But it's
Yes,
just like yeah,
we
but
listen. The thing of it is, it's not just going to change the frequency of how you see your friend and them placing their spouse above you and making them important. It's also going to sometimes change how they behave. Once you kind of like when people become moms, it's common with women. You become a mom and you may not be twerking on the internet or constantly at the club out all night, just going wherever, you pack a little whole bag and you could keep it lit. You don't do that no more when you become a mom. Well, it's similar when you become married. It doesn't mean your life stops, but it does change. And friends are important because they are the family we choose that we just don't share blood with. So to do what Jordan did when she was already struggling, and the first 3 years of marriage are the hardest, especially the first year of marriage, and theirs was filmed. I think everybody who not married needs to relax on the opinions of it from last season. And I also feel like Jordan kind of failed her friend a little bit. Because how can someone feel safe to talk to you when you're just so upset that they're married and you're having to adjust to their life change? Don't you think she's having to adjust? So I don't know. That annoyed me with Jordan. I don't know if you were annoyed with that statement too, James, but I
of course
just,
I was annoyed with it because it feels like that's not a real reason to be mad at her.
yeah,
Or that's not a real reason to cut her off. That's not any of that. So yes, I was really annoyed with that comment because it just seems like you want her to choose you over Silas, and that's insane to me.
baby, she'll never choose you. And now that the little baby Cooper is here, you are really at the bottom of her list.
I'm saying, like, come on, like that's too. First of all, that's even too much of an expectation to put even on your single friends.
Yeah.
Like that's just too much. And I don't want to tell her to get a man because I know that's kind of like absurd. But like at the
No,
end of
you
the
do.
day,
Get a man,
you
Jordan,
need to
because
you
I
need to get a
guarantee it's
hobby or something. You need to because you expect way too much out of your friends. You expect way too much, and that's doing too
without
much.
giving even half of what you expect.
I'm saying, like,
And
you
I
can
can't
come
stand
on,
that. She don't
right?
get she want the world, but she only gonna give you the hours that the city is available. Hell, you can't even.
Yeah, she'll not even give you that. Hell, she give you the lunch break
So, but that
from
really
12 to
baffled
1.
me. Support each other. Support your friends. You never know what people are going through, especially your married friends. We could be going. There's been so many times, even that James has probably thought that everything is cool and stuff, and then randomly I'm like, I'm going through it. He on my nerves. So,
And I tell
that's
her,
why.
and I tell her every time you're gonna be all right, girl. Just go to sleep.
But that's what Jordan should have done. And
Yeah,
it helps because I have someone to talk to about this
mhm.
person I'm supposed to live with all the time. And so hearing
And
just the
that's the thing. Yes, you need someone that's gonna listen, but also to tell you, as long as the shit ain't crazy, which nothing has been crazy, but as long as shit ain't crazy, like girl, if you don't take your ass to sleep and just go home, you'll be all right tomorrow.
now, if I call James and I'm like, he done cheated and he stole the car keys and slashed my
No,
tires, and he's gonna be like, you can't even get
James
your
driving
ass
12
to
hours.
Arizona.
James gonna drive 12 hours to come get you. Because I'm not gonna
He,
play with it.
he
I'm
gonna
not gonna
swoop
play
in.
with you. Yeah, I'm gonna come get you.
James gonna be like,
Um,
welcome to the desert.
shit.
Listen, I would go too. Let me tell you, if I ever ended up to something, the person I would call, James, I'll be like, listen, I know I don't got nothing, but hear me out. Come live with me, player. I find an apartment because I've always been self-sufficient, but he knows. But that's what Jordan should do. Marriage changes people, but Jordan, get over it. Everybody has value. Your single friends, your married friends, your friends engaged, the ones figuring it out. And that's why support people instead of judging them and making their changes and the things in their life about you. Just let it be about them. Damn, Nat. The hell? Is that
You
a
like me
mosquito?
because I'm telling you, it's an epidemic. I promise you with these things.
They have like warnings on the news out here. I'm in the Bay Area, California, for those who don't know. I guess the mosquito problem's gotten really bad out here. And now there's like a number of people we can call to come like, I'm like, what? I'm scared to get bit. I'm that person that will catch the virus.
When I tell y'all, it was between them and the flies when I was in Oakland. I was like, okay, I cannot do this no more.
Oh, you were in Oakland. I don't know.
I
why
was.
I in Pleasanton.
No, that's where I stayed last time when I was at a hotel. So I didn't stay in Oakland. I went to go see my uncle before I left, and I was at my aunt's house in Manteca.
Manteca, that's hella far.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Because my dad was in downtown, so that's why I was like, okay. So we got to do this commute thing, but I got my own room at my aunt's house. So yes, yes, I'm going to say where I have my own space.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lord, apologies, y'all. I got sidetracked, but at the brunch, Lord help us. At the brunch, the spouses are getting ready to leave. Well, some of the spouses, Donald, what's the girl? I forgot her name. The girl who's fake, Tasia. Donald, Tasia, they are getting ready to leave. And everyone's at brunch as a group. I don't understand why this group keeps continuing to try to go out when y'all know you hungover. But I know it's for the show. Natalie actually tries to talk to Tasia about all the things that Nick has been doing and what she's heard. Tasia declines. Tasia, the worst thing you could have done was decline, because now you look stupid if this is a real relationship, and you've lost respect from a lot of people. If this is someone who's supposed to be your friend, she did try to pull you aside to talk to you about it, and you could tell they knew it was coming.
I'll raise my hand.
He knows, Nick knows for a fact that his behavior is wrong, because as soon as Nat got up, he didn't know at this time, he looked nervous. If you have to look concerned for what someone might say to your partner, then you know that the shit that you're doing is not right. But Tasia declines talking to Natalie, and she does it with a little bit of a funky attitude, because I could tell she's probably like, I was embarrassed last season, or they're on to us, whatever it may be. Again, I don't think it's Natalie's place to do it. And here's why, separate from the fact that you're a guest on this trip. I'm not one that's going to do the he said, she said stuff with friends. I've had people who try to do that. I don't care until I hear it from the source's mouth itself. I'm not going to engage. And that's how I feel. I feel like, Natalie, you're coming into this house. You should have waited to see things on your own instead of trying to talk to her about a bunch of stuff that other people have seen. Until you see something, you have no reason to talk to her. So I understood Tasia for that, but Tasia was pissed, and it's very clear. It's very, very clear. It's very clear. Before we get into Tasia being pissed, how do you feel about Natalie even trying to talk to her and Tasia's response?
You see my hand raised in the comments.
Is it? Oh my God. I sure do have a comment also.
Pick me. First off, I couldn't even get past her rubbing her fingers through that lady's hair. I couldn't even get past that. So before I get into this, Tasia, we have a whole protest against this. Why are you letting that lady put her fingers through your fucking hair? First off, we're going to say that first off. But second of all, like my friend said, it looks real suspect how you didn't want to pull that lady to the side, because you could have pulled her to the side to defend Nick. And say he wouldn't dare.
Yep.
Even though you would look fucking stupid if you did that. But you could have said he wouldn't dare do it. He wouldn't touch nobody. He wouldn't be hand. So all you heard was lies, and what you saw was delusions. He ain't gonna touch nail one of them, and I can guarantee that. Cause see, this right here is where it's at, baby. This is the roadmap to heaven, baby. It's the roadmap to heaven. That's what you do, Tasia. That's how you shut it down. But you didn't do any of that, which led everyone to believe that he is up there doing that.
Yeah.
Now the shit, I don't know if we're gonna cover the shit that people were alleging that he did, because some of that was bullshit. But at the same time, Tasia, you not taking this opportunity actually did more harm than it did good.
Yeah, it did.
Because
it's just not smart either.
She's
Like,
not, but that's why he has her. That's why
yeah,
I said this is a beer situation because she, I don't know if it's low. I don't know if it's low self esteem, or I don't know if it's she want to be seen on camera. I don't know what it is with Tasia. I don't. I can't put my finger on it. But I'm gonna say this: if it's this easy to be manipulated and embarrassed like this, then you deserve everything that's coming to you because there's no way in hell after
yeah.
what you saw all of last season because you was with him last year all of that and you still decided to take him back means that whatever he does at this point,
And
oh
it's
well.
obvious that Nick and Tasia, I don't want them on the show anymore. Nick specifically, because I can see the way he handles things when he's wrong. I think he went to producers and was like, I do not want to talk about this. This is my real life. And she was actually embarrassed. She's not on this show. I am. I think he went to production because he should have spoken about where his relationship is with Tasia and her feelings on everything she found out last season. But instead, they brought her in the house and he's pretty much been acting as if she's Queen Nefertiti or something. I can't understand it. But what I will say, I don't have no respect for no bitch that sit up here and let a nigga play in her face. Sorry. I know my mouth has gotten beyond what YouTube allows, about 46 minutes in. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let a nigga play in my face like that. Publicly at that.
And I would see
Not at
like
least
I could see I could see if it was, you know, my husband, Mr. Jordan, doing this. I could see if it was him and all 800 of his little dolphin teeth sitting up here playing with me in front of everybody. That is understandable. But we're talking about Nick here in the green with the glasses right behind the lady with the poofy hair. We're talking about him.
Literally the opposite of what Bondi Blue calls Trick Daddy, the Mucinex monster. Like if you were to look at like opposite to like that Nick, like trash, just in different ways.
Yeah. There's no way. There's no way this goofy fool will be able to play me like that.
The other thing too is just having family members who went to HBCUs. I just have to say this: frat brothers, what they do, the love is there, but don't think that they not spreading their love across them campuses. That's what I was saying. So I don't trust
that too.
Listen, none of it I trust. But the weird part, James, is Tasia was mad about it, but she didn't show it there, even though we could see it. You could tell she was caught off guard and thought she would slip away free. Nick was texting Natalie about it. Why are you texting Amir's girlfriend? That's weird for one. Then two, if it's over and done with, why are you texting her when you could have spoken to her? You're on a reality show, bro. So I expect for you when you can to talk about things and confront things with people. But instead you choose to text. And I know somebody like, oh, they were in the hospital. But the way Nick was acting at the end of this show, I'm really, really done with him. And we getting there. So at the house, Nick and Preston are talking because they went to drop off their spouses. By the way, Preston, I can't stand you. I can't. I don't like Preston. I don't feel like he's fair. And I also don't feel like he's interesting enough for me. Hi, Naya. Good evening. I feel like I don't know. I just don't care for Preston. But I don't know. He says he has not been handsy with Noelle, and this is who they're supposedly hearing it with. Noelle, Shanice, and Bria were part of the conversation. He says, Nick says he has not been handsy with Noelle or Shanice and that this was making him upset. And Preston, once again, because he wants to be part of the conversation, says that he's upset because how did anybody get back of it? How did any of it get back to Natalie? Here's the thing. I don't like Preston, but he had a point. It's Amir's girlfriend. That's the one person in the house who you don't want to know nothing because they all learned from last season with Mariah. And Amir, just to me, a rabbit could tell you should not trust him or anything that comes with him. He's messy, kind of like girls are in high school, in my opinion. And so I agree that the girls should not have spoken to Natalie because off top, one thing all people do, whether you got a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever the hell, you're going to run back and tell them. So, you know, I just didn't like that. But at the same time, I also was like, wait, you were handsy with Shanice, Nick, for multiple seasons. Last season, actually, you were made to look creepy and people were surprised you had a girlfriend because you were in Shanice's DMs before she arrived.
Well, first off, not only that, and hi Naya, yeah, I don't know how I feel about any of this either. But not only that, I'm gonna say this. We didn't know you had a girlfriend until the end of last season. So I don't want to hear from you now wanting to defend yourself in any prospects of you cheating or anyone alluding to you cheating, because you are handsy and you are flirtatious, and this not act like you wasn't in these women's DMs while you was with this woman.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
don't want to hear you from you now. And yes, she was. She was
She was.
absolutely thirsty, and
She was.
then she chose to spill all that tea on the floor, trying to get everybody messy into it. And see, and that's why I don't like her either. And this is what I'm talking about. Her and Amir are the exact same person. That's why it's working, because they're exact same person. Just one's more ambitious than the other, and
Yep.
one is more motivated than the other to put the shit out. But they are the exact same person
Yeah,
to the
I
T.
agree. I could definitely see that now too.
Yes.
Down to how they interact and stuff, they are definitely the same. Couples that's messy like that struggle with making friends. That's all to say. But moving
Yep.
on.
Exactly.
Everybody else gets to the house, y'all, and Nick is pissed off. He is mad at Bria and Noelle for saying that he was handsy, and he alludes to Noelle that she just wanted to be included. I said, hold up, Negro.
Oh.
Number
Well,
one,
I
you a
tell
man.
you.
You are a boy. So you have to understand that this is a girl. And you are supposed to be in a relationship. If you felt the way, you should have had your female address her about it, but you didn't do that. You don't get to then address her who doesn't have a man there to defend her. One. Two, who the hell do you think you're talking to? Man, woman, plant, chameleon. Who are you talking to? You telling Noelle that she just wants to be included when you're the one that has a pretend girlfriend that you obviously cheating on if it is your actual girlfriend. You touching on all these different women and you want people to take your relationship seriously and all of that. Please, please, Nick, keep your mouth closed when it comes to Noelle, especially because that is my baby on this show. Love Noelle thus far. Let's get the comment from Naya. She said, Nick and his girl been together 2 years. Sir, how are you flirtatious on TV? And they got the nerve to be offended when called out. Exactly. Your
That's
first,
because nobody holds him accountable. That's because nobody holds even Tasia, if this is really real. She doesn't hold him accountable either.
yeah.
And that's why I said this looks like a beer situation. And now that I'm thinking about it even more, Tasia gives very insecure, because there's no way you finna embarrass me on national TV season 1 and think season 2 I'm finna show up and pop up in these people's face. If I'm
Yeah.
popping up, it's to slap the hell out of you in front of all of them for playing me. So there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And that's why I said he is something else. That's why I don't like him. And I've never liked him. I didn't like him from the beginning, and I said this. So he lucky his girl ain't slap him in the mouth. She's not going to do that. That's why I said she's not like
She's
she
one
ain't
of
like
them
me.
weak-minded
She
bitches.
one
I'm
of
sorry.
them yeah, exactly. She is.
You
I
weak
was just gonna say
minded.
that. She
Pathetic.
really
Woman
absolutely.
lips this.
As I said, that man is not that attractive to Tasia. This man's not that attractive and not that good of a person for you to be taking this. Now, if it was, like I said, if it was my husband, Mr. Jordan, that we talking about here, I would shut my mouth because he could do this. Absolutely. We'll talk about when we get home, but he could do this. Nick can't. He ain't cute enough, and the show ain't smooth enough either.
Listen, at their big age too, if your goal to be dating for most people at that age is an end goal, you either want to be married if you believe in it, or you just want to have like your life partner if that's what you believe in. But it's not okay. It's just not okay at all what he's doing. So I don't like how, and that's the other thing. You claim to care about Tasia, and we know that's fake because let me tell you this: when I say my husband won't argue with no female, won't yell at no female, won't get at no females that disrespected him at work and all types of stuff, he'll come home like, I don't know what was wrong with that bitch. She was tripping, but he ain't gonna go off. He not gonna argue. I know several men who are like that, gay, straight, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, Nick, I'm looking at you with the side eye.
No, it's like because as I said, it's a kid who gets in trouble because he took the last piece of candy that his mama said he couldn't have. It's exactly that. He's throwing this big ass tantrum, and for what? You did this shit. It's not like they made the shit up.
Somebody needs to say to Nick, if your mama was in a relationship with somebody, whether it be dating, married, whatever, would you be okay if her man was touching on all the aunties and
And rubbing
godmama
up on their thighs and shit. Come on,
Nick?
Nick, come on. Like, we ain't gonna play this game.
You
We
better
not.
put yourself, if you're somebody's daddy, how would you want your daughter to be treated? And if you are not a father, how would you want your mother to be treated? And if you are not that, how would you want your female best friend or whatever woman that you love to be treated? Nick is full of poop. Y'all know what I mean. He is full of it. So Noelle checks him, which I was glad, but she peeped that nothing gets out when it's just her, Bria, and Shanice talking, which is actually true. Those three are the ones that are tight-lipped. The messy ones who don't know how to keep anything to themselves is Preston, Jordan, and Crazy Summer. And that's just what the hell it is. So, you know, Noelle pointed out something important too, though people are still paying attention to the wrong things. In my opinion, the real issue is Nick, but whatever. Shanice comes down, and I was cracking up at Shanice because Shanice is, let me tell you, Shanice is me at the event when people have an argument or conversation. I'm gonna answer your question and continue on with my food, my partying, and my enjoyment. Like nobody gonna stop my shine when I'm in a good place. But she comes down and he's like, "So you said this about me?" And she's like, "Yeah, you have a wandering eye." And I think he knew not to argue with her because I feel like in that moment he remembered, like, "Oh shit, I did DM her and was talking all this stuff last summer on camera."
Like, I mean,
So Nick says Shanice should have came to him and said that. They did come to you though. Shanice was one of the people who said this last season, and now they're saying it again. The only
let me address this real quick. Why the fuck does she need to come to you about the shit you do?
You could also respect women and keep your hands to yourself.
Exactly. Keep your hands and keep your words out their DMs and go pay attention to the low self-esteem girlfriend you got over there.
Yeah.
You could do that too, sir. I would have been mad. He could have came to me and told me no shit like that because I'd have been like, first of all, I didn't seek you out. Let's be very clear. I didn't seek you out inside of your DMs and say, "Hey, Nick, I'm with it."
None of them want him.
None of them want him. So come on,
I'm not going to say him off camera. Nick and Amir, in my opinion, are the two that nobody on the cast deals with. I feel like people would deal with Alex when he does his events. They come, but he does seem a tad more busier and also a tad more uninterested in these people. And now the more that this show continues, I can't fucking blame him. But
yeah, I don't blame him either. I'm actually on his side with this.
Don't interact.
Look, kitchen table, eat your sandwich, and say what's going on. Okay, I just wanted to know what the drama was, and just be it. I'm Team Alex right now, and I can't believe I'm
your
actually
cousin John Legend. Get some help with that music career because his music is actually good. I went and listened to some of it.
I heard one song. It was actually not bad. I forgot what it's called. It's on YouTube.
They are very, very talented. And John Legend, in my opinion, ain't made no good music in years. I miss the old John Legend when he was like black, you know, heaven only knows, ordinary people. I miss them days when he sang on Andre 3000's Green Light, the Green Light remix. You know, these are the things I miss. I don't. John Legend.
Here's the thing. I kind of fell off of him a little bit because
you're not missing nothing no more.
Yeah, no, but no, it's just because I can't do the whole. We're not gonna talk about it here. We're gonna save it for another day.
We shall. Oh yeah, speaking of which, y'all, for the people who watch my music reviews and stuff, people keep telling me do a podcast, talk about stuff, host panels. So I'm gonna be doing that. I have one for relationships that I'll be doing. I'm gonna invite James, Shayna, and 2 other people, and I have another one that I'm gonna be doing to discuss these rap beefs and other crazy stuff happening in music. So be on the lookout for that. But Nick says that Shanice should have came to him to talk about it, which is interesting. It then comes out that Natalie is the person who wanted to bring everything to Tasia because Nick is sitting in there looking like, I'm going to blame these castmates. And then it comes out that Natalie is actually the one. They were having a private conversation that they were never going to pull out because they have respect for your girlfriend. Natalie and Tasia, Natalie and Nick do not, because y'all are talking about this, which even though she's not there is embarrassing her because it's even something to talk about. And from there, Shanice points out that the entire house, which I appreciated, and she's so calm, and this is the best way to deliver stuff when people going crazy. She is like, everyone has said this. Everyone. And in her confessional, she's like, they said it last season, and they say it this season, but he's mad at us for his actions. Make it make sense. If you don't do things like this, then there'll be nothing to talk about. So exactly. Alex's goofy ass steps up talking about Nick is not that guy. Alex, be quiet. I'm not even going to.
I say nobody. Yeah, nobody was talking to you.
Be quiet.
Nobody was talking to you. We know what the fuck we looking at.
Go find your vegan sandwich. Go find some tofu, some quinoa, fried up. Throw some Mrs. Dash or whatever the hell you cook with in there, and be quiet. That's it. So, moving on. Everyone says the same thing pretty much about Nick, and he's still fighting it. And the camera even provides receipts of him touching on every single female in a way that is not the most appropriate if you have a girlfriend. So Bria comes down and talks to him about it, and he snaps at her. And she's the only one who checked him properly, in my opinion. Because who the hell are you talking to? And she made that very clear. And that's the one thing, the one time that Bria's, the way that she behaved was warranted. I appreciated how she checked him. I think she handled him appropriately and was walking away. But why you snap at Bria? Because you know that she's the easier one to get to fly off the handle, and that someone flies off the handle, that's an easy way to make yourself look innocent because people are focused on crazy Bria. Nick, you should have kept the same energy with Bria that you had with Noelle. You should have kept the same energy with Noelle that you had with Shanice. You were pretty much an asshole to everybody except for Shanice, because you know that's the person who can actually prove that you've been touching. But what you don't realize with your dumb, narrow-headed ass is that everything is filmed. So in real time, when the editors show us what happens, and you're going to learn this at the reunion, and I'm looking forward to see what the hell his narrow ass has to say, there's going to be receipts. Nick's is handsy. They could put a compilation of Nick being handsy up. So though he's wrong for being handsy because he's in a relationship, I think as women, if I have people that's touching me in a way that makes me uncomfortable, I'm real quick. Let me scoot to the side. You don't need to be touching me. Now, they did show Noelle a little bit like, Then they did show all of the women saying no. And this is where I encourage everyone to actually pay attention to the sexual harassment trainings that all of your employers offer, regardless of your degree of accolade or whatever the hell. You could be a cashier working at the gas station or in corporate America. You have to do sexual harassment training. People aren't always comfortable saying, hey, don't do this. It's making me uncomfortable, because they have a fear that they don't want to ruin the mood. So I don't think that we should come at the women for this at all. At the end of the day, his behavior and his hands are what gets him in trouble. Drunken mind is sober thoughts. And when you're drunk, you get touchy because you probably really want to touch these girls when you're sober. So I'm going to leave it there. Bria handled him. I agree with Naya. I was proud of Bria. Yeah. I was proud of her because I think she saw, like, you just mad because you're guilty. Go touch grass and talk to God, Nick. That's what you need to do. Don't touch the women. Go touch grass and talk to God.
I don't understand why it's so hard for you to keep your hands to yourself. I just don't understand why that's so hard.
That's the concerning part, though, because
like, why is it so hard for you to not do this? Like, I understand a hug. I understand, like, maybe like not like maybe a hand touch where you're like, but I don't understand this whole rubbing your hand on their thighs and massaging them and just coming off all perverted and sexual. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while is, Nick, you supposed to have a whole girlfriend
that you've been with for 2 years.
So
Mr. Best would be in the ground if he went on a television show and acted like this. Nick, there is not a woman, a non-binary person. There's no one in the trans community. There is nobody who is a man. There are no heterosexual people. Nobody is agreeing with you, bro. You're wrong.
No.
You're wrong. Stop doing that girl dirty. And Tasia, if this is a real relationship, warm it up, sis.
No, Tasia, this is a real relationship, honey. Where are your parents?
I think their parents, I feel like their families know each other.
Where is your cousins? Where is that best friend, that no nonsense? But we all have one. Where is that no nonsense best friend that tell you if you don't get your ass off this TV looking so fucking stupid? Where are those people at in your life, ma'am? I just want to know. Because there's no way I'm looking at this TV screen and you looking at this TV screen and we seeing the same shit.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's important to tell your loved ones the truth about stuff, because at least their loved ones could say, hey, we warned you. And then from there, whatever it is what you choose. But
someone tell Tasia to watch your mouth reviews and Mrs. Best if her voice of reason is gone, like Naya said. Y'all tag her in this shit and see, because
she is a pretty girl and she don't need to be that insecure. What she needs to do is get away from this man that's wasting her time. That's what she needs to do. But at the same time, she's allowing him to waste her time. So if she wants to be with that man, that's what she wants to.
And that's so sad.
It's sad, but you know what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. And this is This is what's happening.
Apparently so.
Whew, that was a lot, but we got through the Summer House Martha's Vineyard episode recap of the episode title Gossip Girl season 2 episode 8. I don't believe it looked like we're gonna have another episode next week. Some people are saying it's the final episode.
I heard they have one more than the final.
I
That's
believe
what I
there's one
heard.
more.
Yeah, I think there's one more than the final episode. I don't know, y'all, but yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, it is. What day is it today? Oh wow, tomorrow's the 15th. Y'all, my birthday is in a few days.
Yes, it is.
I'm feeling like you now. I'm not really happy about it at all.
That's because mine, like, I was going through I'm still going through a lot, but I was going through so much that it wasn't a year of like, oh my gosh, like, I'm happy to be 34, y'all, but at the same time, I'm going through so much that I can't even feel like the abundance of 34. I just can't right now. Praying that changes. Like,
it will. I believe it will. I've been praying for you actually daily, so I don't know if it's working, but I hope it does. I believe in the power of prayer. Don't judge me. If y'all don't, that's fine too. I don't have time for this damn cancel culture. I pray for the people I love because I believe it's good for them. And I hope that those who believe in it too pray for James. He's good people. He's a good person. Buy his book. It might make him smile. Thank you, Niagara. She said, happy early birthday. The craziest Gemini on the internet. She said, it's always darkest. That's right. You got to go through the darkness before you get to the light. What's Mr. Best say? You have to go through the bullshit before you can get to tenderness. It's ratchet, but now that I'm older, I'm like, wait a minute. You got some wisdom, young man. So just remember those things and get better. Yeah. But we will be back on James's channel, you guys, tomorrow on the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Again, that's going to be in the description of this video. You can also kind of see it on the screen, but not too much. That's youtube.com/@WatchYourMouthReviews 833 for those watching on Twitch and Facebook. Hey, y'all. If you ever want to know where to find James, that is where. But we'll be going over... What the hell is that show? Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yes, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I need to watch it a second and third time. And also, we're going to have another updates video because I got some tea on Potomac. And also, there's so much going on. What is going on in Housewives Land? So I got to update y'all on Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, Salt Lake City, and also Beverly Hills. And I want to do another unpopular opinion, but I don't know if we'll have time. We'll see how that goes. I'll create the live, and if we get to it, good. If we don't, oh well. But
the tea is hot. Does it have something to do with Giselle?
Yes.
Okay, I saw it too. I know what you're talking about. I'm finally up to date and not learning through a video.
Yes, and then the unpopular opinion will be Gary Owens' interview with Shannon Sharp.
Oh Lord, ooh,
we need to talk. We need to talk about this, y'all. We got to talk about this because Gary Owens has lost his mind, and Shannon Sharp, how dare you? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, Auntie Shannon. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, before I end the live, Shannon Sharp, it is okay to buy clothes that fit you. I understand that you're buff and things, but there's a such thing as people buying clothes too small so they could look.
And you know what's crazy is like, this is one of the, I think I have a top 5 of men that I'm embarrassed to say I'm attracted to, and he's number 5.
He is an attractive man.
I'm embarrassed to say that I'm attracted.
Why? Why?
Oh, there's lots of them that I'm embarrassed to say. Eddie Murphy is another one.
He's not unattractive. He's just like for our age. It's just like, huh? But he's not unattractive.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know what's going on with me.
I always wondered how he caught the wife that be acting a fool. Is it Nicole Murphy?
Oh, I know how he caught her. That girl, that's for everybody.
But y'all, we're gonna have
that's the nacho dip.
We're gonna have a lot of videos coming on my channel as well as on James's channel, so be sure to subscribe to both channels. But we appreciate y'all. Comment your opinions on the episode. Even when we're not live, we will both be able to respond. But other than that, love and light to all of you. Thug Life, I will be live in another 9 minutes for our weekly music review. So if you like music, make music, or any of that, tap in. And thank you, Shayna, for tapping in. I was like, what's Shayna doing in the music review? fish out to get here. Anywho, love and light to y'all. Thug life. Thank you, James, and good night.
Good night.
Bye.